Prophet Haggai. Consequently, the people suffered from failing crops and unfruitful harvests. No matter how hard they worked, they never had enough. The reason was simple. God was disciplining them to correct their ways. Their efforts were unproductive, and what little they did manage to produce was never sufficient. It either fell short of meeting their basic needs or brought them no lasting pleasure. In both cases, they found no fulfillment or satisfaction in what they owned or worked for. God was straightforward in stating the reason for the people's hardships. They were neglecting God's house, the temple, while focusing on building their own homes. As a result, God sent economic calamity upon them. Israel was still primarily an agricultural society, dependent on farming and herding, making rain and dew essential. But God withheld the rain and dew, causing the people's crops to fail. He also caused a drought on the land. Throughout history, God had repeatedly warned his people that they would not receive his blessings if they disobeyed him. He had forewarned them of drought and other natural disasters if they neglected his word. Obedience to God's commands was the key condition of the covenant God made with Israel through Moses. This covenant clearly stated that the people would be blessed for their obedience, but cursed for their disobedience. God called his people to obedience, and they responded as he commanded this time. The Lord offered them a second chance, and the people seized it. The leaders and the people acted immediately on God's word, taking this chance to make things right. God offered the people of Israel great hope. Because of their obedient response to his message and their renewed worship, he promised to give them two great gifts. The first gift for their obedience was his presence. There could be no greater promise than this. God's presence brought strength, initiative, and stamina to accomplish what he had commanded. His presence empowered his people to do what they should have done long ago: complete the work of rebuilding the temple. Although the people had failed the Lord for over a decade, almost 2 decades, he mercifully gave them another chance. He promised to be with them and to help them accomplish their critical mission. The second gift for their obedience was revival. God stirred the entire nation of returned exiles to finish the work of the Lord. True revival leads to concrete action, enabling God's people to obey his holy word. The Lord stirred up the spirits of both the leaders and the people. They responded by coming together and starting the work for God. The people began their work on September 21st, during the second year of King Darius's reign. Soon after the people began rebuilding the temple, they became discouraged. The Lord was fully aware of their discouragement. About 1 month into their work, the people were already feeling disheartened. At this crucial time, coinciding with the last day of the Feast of Tabernacles, a celebration of the Lord's provision and his deliverance of the Israelites from Egyptian slavery and guidance through their 40 years in the wilderness, God sent the prophet Haggai to deliver his message. Haggai was instructed to speak to both the leaders and the people. He asked 3 questions, addressing their discouragement and feelings about the new temple. He mainly talked to the older men who had seen the first temple, acknowledging that the current temple must seem insignificant in comparison.